Hey guys, GuitarMan519 here. Today we're going to do a review of the PlayStation 2 Slim versus the brand new, couple-month-old PlayStation 4 Slim. Now, obviously, there's a vast difference between these two internally, but what I'm going to take a look at is how the PlayStation 4 took some design features of the PlayStation 2 Slim, at least in my opinion, and how they are similar design-wise, and a little bit of how we've evolved within two console generations. So, first thing you notice about the PlayStation 2 Slim is it's much smaller than the PlayStation 4 Slim, which was already pretty small. So, on the PlayStation 2 Slim, you get a nice gloss strip here that says PlayStation 2 on it. Now, this thing is over 10 years old, and it still works great, which is awesome. But that's all scratched up. So just like the first generation of the PlayStation 4 and some of the PS3s, that gloss part on it, it never really stuck with PlayStation. I don't know why they kept making consoles like that, but it always got scratched up and would show fingerprints like crazy. So this version of the PlayStation 2 Slim, there's two versions, this one and then the newer model. The newer model had the gloss part all on this side, the smaller rectangle here. But on the older one, it had it just there. So I'm glad I'm comparing the older Slim to the PlayStation 4 Slim, because as you notice, on the PlayStation 4 Slim, it is also gloss, or matte finish. So that kind of sets in with the whole situation there. So back to the PlayStation 2, you notice that you have two USB ports right here. Well, they kept with that design feature on the PlayStation 4 Slim as well. You still have two USB ports right here. Now, the only difference is, instead of them being right next to each other and the fan there, they don't have a fan there anymore, and they're more spread out. On the original PlayStation 4, the fat version, they were together. So they kept the two USB ports in the same place on the PlayStation 4, just like the PlayStation 2. PS3, I never had a PS3, at least not yet, and I don't believe they had USB ports there, because that was where the disc loading was. But in my opinion, the PlayStation 4 Slim looks an awful lot like a PS2 Slim. Which takes me to my next point, is the layers of it. There's two layers, kind of a full layer down here, and then a slender, like more cut layer up here. So full layer and cut layer. So there's two layers. Now, if you notice on the PlayStation 2, we also have two layers. The bottom one is kind of an inside thing like that, that's smaller, and the top one is bigger. But I also noticed that PS2 has these ridges. They kind of stuck with that theme with this thing. Those kind of mimic the ridges, just a modern day version of it. Now, the slant of the PlayStation 4, in my opinion, kinda reminds me of what the PS2 was doing back then. If you notice, if you look at it from this angle, you kind of see how there's overhang along the inside edge here. Now, that's a cool design feature that I like, and I think they were trying to stick with the PS4 to stick with that idea of having a neat design feature in there, which I think is really cool. Now, PlayStation 2 is huge because it was the first PlayStation console that was meant, if you wanted to stand it up on its side. Now that whole thing started back at the PlayStation 1, where the laser for the disc reader was too close to the power supply, so it would overheat over time and ruin the laser, so people started standing up their PlayStation 1s. So then heat wouldn't bother the laser as much. So with the PlayStation 2, they decided, hey, let's make it so we can put a stand in there and stand it up like that so people could have like that if they wanted it. And they really wanted you to stand it up too, because they included this really cool logo in it that flipped like that. So you could flip it up if you wanted to. Now with the PlayStation 4, you don't get that logo. But you do get, if you look on the side here, there are, it's kind of hard to see, but there, inside there are the PlayStation logos, the button logos, which I think is a really cool design that they did. They have it on the feet too, so all the feet are the buttons. But on the O, there's a port to screw, threaded screw hole to screw in a stand that you can buy separately to stand it up vertically. So they kept with the theme of standing it up vertically. Now, as the disk drive goes, the disk drive is on your left. This is the first time in the PlayStation, starting with the original PS4, that we've had the disk drive on the left. It's always been on the right, even with all the PS3 models. And the PS2 had it on the right as well, but it was top-loading. The original PlayStation 2, the fat one, also had it on the right, but it was regular disk drive. Why they changed that, I'm not sure, but I think it's very sleek and looks cool, especially being able to keep those USB ports where they were, but also putting them next to the disk drive. It just makes it a lot sleeker looking. Now, going back to this, if you look on the back of the ports, with PlayStation 2, you got your standard back then, which was AV multiple out, so your component cables or your composite cables. And then you had an optical audio out, then a network, so Ethernet port, and then you had a power brick for this particular model. Now with the next version of the PlayStation 2 Slim, they actually had a built-in power supply, so we just use the normal power plug-in that you're used to today. But with the older one, you had a separate power brick like the Xbox 360, although it's not so big. Now with the PlayStation 4, on the other hand, on the back, the Slim model has your power, your auxiliary for your PlayStation camera, an HDMI out, which is back then would have been the AV, so you still get that. You also get that additional camera port. And then you have your network, so your LAN or your Ethernet. But you don't get an optical audio out anymore. They removed that. I don't know why, but they removed it probably to cheaper cost. I don't use it, so that's not a problem for me. Now, PlayStation 4 has an internal hard drive. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to break the plastic because it's very thin. But there's a 500 gigabyte hard drive that comes stock in here. There, I can remove it. And that just removes just like that. And then you got a screw here, and then a pull tab here to pull it out. Now on the PlayStation 2, on the original fat version, you could get a hard drive, but it was sold separately, and people didn't really use them. So on the PlayStation 2 Slim, they got rid of the hard drive, but you had 2 memory card slots. Remember memory cards? Those were the days. So you had, I think they sold up to 8 megabyte memory cards. So you would put your memory card in there, and then your controllers obviously went in here. They were quarter controllers. So another thing about the PlayStation 4 Slim, along with the PlayStation 4 and the PS3, absolutely no controller ports anymore, which is why there's room for a disk drive over here now. Now, if you wanted to plug in, say, a racing wheel or something that was not wireless, it would use the USB ports. So that is my kind of just my opinion of how the design of the PlayStation 2 Slim evolved into the PlayStation 4. Stay tuned for more videos, and like and comment and share all these videos. Please subscribe. Subscribing would be a huge help. This is a new channel. I am starting this. If you don't know me already, my name is Aaron Skoke, and I have a YouTube channel that focuses on guitars. I'm a guitar player, and I have a secret hobby of loving video games too, especially PlayStation 2. I collect the PlayStation 2. So I figured I'm going to make a second channel, and this is it. So if you guys like what you see, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Rock on.